Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world, and maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry,
the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish.
Okay.
But can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
CNN's Caitlin Collins tried to get another question in, but he stormed off before she could. Now, Joy, you say this is right on brand for him. What do you mean?
You know what, Whoopi? We all know now that he's a racist. He's a disgusting racist.
Well, clearly the president was rattled enough to walk off because he didn't want to hear the questions from Caitlin Collins and Wei Zhejiang. And I think what we saw in that exchange with Wei Zhejiang is something that has racial overtones. It is racist to look at an Asian American White House correspondent and say, ask China. And he's also had this pattern of reacting to minority journalists in a very specific and different way, Wolf.
Listen to what he's saying. He's saying that if President Trump mentions China and the person that he's talking to is Asian, if anybody that he's talking to is Asian, and he mentions China, that's racist and he's not allowed to do it. They can't get more obvious about it. You want to blame China, we want to blame anybody but China, so saying China is racist. Do you remember they did this to Trump the last time he was at a press briefing, and an Asian reporter who said she was from Hong Kong came out and asked this very fluffy question for China. And he said, who do you work for? She goes, Phoenix TV. He goes, yeah, is that owned by the Chinese Communist Party? She goes, no, it's owned by Hong Kong. Yeah, you sure? And so then he answered the question. The left went crazy. They said he's a racist. He's calling out this Asian reporter and suggesting that she works with the Chinese Communist government. Guess what? She did. The news organization, Phoenix TV, is owned by the Chinese government. And then here, he's not making any sort of suggestion or that, this woman's working for China. He's just saying, ask China, like he's asked of many other reporters throughout this entire crisis, and they play the race card.
Please, go ahead.
There are a variety of reports that Chinese hackers are attempting to steal technology related to vaccine research. Is this something you're concerned about? What can you say?
So what else is new with China? What else is new? Tell me.
The South China Morning Post, the Beijing newspaper, says that China would like to reopen negotiations on the trade deal to make the terms more favorable to them. Is this something you'd be interested in doing?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit, no. I'm not interested. We signed a deal. I had heard that too. They'd like to reopen the trade talk to make it a better deal for them. China's been taking advantage of the United States for many, many years, for decades, because we had people at this position right here where I'm standing, sitting right in that office, the Oval Office, that allowed that to happen. No, I'm not interested in that. Let's see if they live up to the deal that they signed.
Rusia y China están poniendo las bases para lograrlo.
RT es una televisora rusa. La RT es de Rusia.
Rusia y China han vuelto a la arena internacional con nuevas ideas y con el planteamiento de un nuevo orden mundial. A estas horas está a un nivel de cocción muy, pero muy alto. El presidente ruso también ha reprendido a Estados Unidos por dar lecciones sobre libertad e igualdad. El presidente ruso lo tiene claro.
Ya sé lo que algunas personas van a decir.
Tal parece que estamos a las puertas de una nueva era, con un nuevo orden mundial.
lo quiere Estados Unidos, o que si se demuestra que el ejército de Estados Unidos no es tan fuerte como parece, el dólar tampoco. Rusia y China están poniendo las bases para negarlo. Pero de lo que carece Rusia lo tiene China, así que ambos se complementan. De empezarse una guerra contra China, los militares estadounidenses volverían a su patria con el rabo entre las piernas. Y aquí cabe volver a destacar que el objetivo principal de Rusia es allanar el camino para que China, país amigo históricamente, tome las riendas del nuevo orden mundial.
Excelente reporte de Isla Genova, de RT.
Esto está todo mal.